Good morning. Hello, everyone. It's Shanna. So, doesn't look like we've got anybody in the chat yet this morning. I kind of scheduled this last minute because I wasn't sure if I was going to do it or whatever, um, but decided to go ahead and create. What we're going to work with today are some panels that were left over from my live last night. So, I thought it would be fun. Hello, Jackie, Northeast Kansas. All right. Good morning, Jim. Glad you could join us. I'm going to go ahead and switch screens and just show you what we're going to be working with. Last night I had these mixed media panels I had messed around with, and then I wound up doing a third one, and I used it for my card that I did last night. And so today I thought, last night when I got done, I thought, what am I going to work with? And I thought, you know what? I've got these panels. Let's work with these. I think they could be really fun. So that's what I've got. I've got some Spellbinders, a couple different colors of Spellbinders, yellow here, and then I've got some purple from Spellbinders, and then a couple of, oh, I guess it's all Spellbinders. I was thinking I had some Michaels there, but no. Anyway, so that's what that is. And I'm going to use, I've got two embossing folders. We've got the dimpled and the linen. These are super fun. Good morning, Gloria. Glad you could join. So I've got the linen 3D embossing folder and the dimpled 3D embossing folder. And I've got several things here laid aside that I thought we would work with. One, I'm going to bring in all these die sets I've got laying here just to show you, is the, and this is not going to be a Christmas card. This is the Christmas foliage. Um, and I thought we could use the leaves and the flowers to create, I'm going to make some birthday cards. Hi, Linda Gorman. Welcome. Glad you could join. So I'm going to use these dies here for this. Now this, I did make this card, and you've probably seen it. And I'm real blessed to say that when you click on this die set for Spellbinders, you see this card. Love it. It was so fun to see. I've got a few of my cards out there on their site, and it was exciting to see that. But this card is on their site. So, but this is the Christmas one, and I'm going to make these two cards here, I think, birthday cards is what I'm thinking I'm going to do, and just floral type with the mixed media. So that's what I have in mind. I'm also going to bring in the documenting labels die set, and I've got them cut out in kind of a the lighter purple and then the lighter yellow color. And we're going to try and infuse those a little bit. And I think I'm probably going to use this Bells and Bows scallop frame just because I love it. I know I keep using it, sorry, but you know, if you love something, you got to use it. But I'm probably going to bring it in. And then I've also got the birthday wishes sentiments, and these I've got on white, but I'm going to need it on a different color, so we're going to have to do something different here because I think the white is going to be too stark for the colors that I've got going. But we've got to a very special person, happiest birthday wishes, happy birthday, celebrating you, cheers to another year, happy birthday, it's your special day, age to perfection, and from all of us. So it's a great sentiment set for a birthday, so we're going to use that. So anyway, let's go ahead, and I need to grab my press plate and my really quick here. Yes, so I forgot to grab that. So we have, I think we'll go ahead and press the, let's go ahead and press the sentiments first. I'm going to use this color here for that. Then we will, sorry about that, loud boom. And then we'll have that, and then we'll start working with our other things. So this is going to be we're going to crank it out. The only thing I did prepare was the documenting labels stuff. So I don't know what I'm doing here. I need to get my head on straight. So I'm going to just kind of line this up in here like that. I'm going to grab some of my ink. And I feel like, what have I got? That'd be fun. mulberry. I think I'm going to go bark on this. I'm just going to go with bark, and we will ink it up. Let's go ahead and I need to clear some space so I can work here and you guys don't have to look at all this clutter. All right, there we go. And I love this because you can stamp it, press it, and then cut everything out at once. And you've got a whole bunch of, yeah, the sheet with the spots is what I'm going to do all the die cutting out of, Jim. That's what I had in mind. All my flowers and leaves and everything are going to come out of that panel with the all of the sprays. So this panel here, this is where all of the flowers and the leaves and everything are going to come out of. And that was kind of the idea that I had to use it. Can you ink over the better pressed sentiments? I think I could definitely spritz them after I get done, and that would kind of, maybe bring it in. So we're going to look at that. I had thought about that as well. So we're going to give that a try. So I'm just going to get this all inked up and we'll give it a press and we'll have our sentiments. Now, I like to kind of go in circles, and when you do that, it does leave some bits on your plate, and you got to make sure you get them off, because if you don't, that's going to ink on your paper. So you don't want that. Ask me how I know. I've done it before. Usually you'll have like a little hair from the ink pad, and it'll just make a line right on there. So make sure you get that. When you get done inking it up, and you have it as inky as you want it, just give it a glance over and make sure there's no threads on there, because that's what will create a line on your sentiment, and then you'll be unhappy. So anyway, I'll go ahead and get this laid down on here. Bring in some tape. Got some washi tape and some green mint tape on here. Just grab it. I like to touch it to my shirt and kind of take some of the tackiness out of it, because it tends to rip, which it won't matter on this because we're more in the center here for this. But anyway, let's get this out of the way. I always think I'm all organized and ready to go, and then you get going and you've forgotten something, or you've laid something aside and you can't find it. But that's kind of how lives go. So hopefully you guys can appreciate the effort anyway. So I'm just going to give this one quick press. Sometimes I have known to give it a double press, but we're just going to do the one and see how it goes. Okay, so we've got all of our sentiments. I think they look nice. We'll lay this aside because we're done with it. And then we'll bring in our, yeah, that came off real nice. We'll bring in our Spellbinders and go ahead and die cut these out so that we have them. I suppose we could spritz them first, but I'm not sure that I want them all spritzed. So I'll die cut them out and we can spritz whatever we want to spritz. If we do. Let's see how it goes. Now this is kind of an interesting one. I think it goes like this, yeah. So I love these when you can just get them all die cut out at once and have a bunch of them. And then I just store them so that I have them and can pull them out. And birthday sentiments, you always need those. At least I do. Okay, I think that's good. All right, so bring the big dog back in. We're using the big dog today because we're going to do some embossing. So that's what we're doing. And I'm going to use, I did try to clean up my magic mat. You can tell I use the crap out of this stuff, and it really shows the wear. But I did scrub it with a brush and try to get all the bits and pieces out of it. And I will tell you, my Empress is getting used a lot too. Jana had made mention about my mat being, already well worn. Oh, there went the Spellbinders Platinum 6 plate. Let me get that real quick. Okay. Oh my goodness. Sorry about all the racket things. That was the avalanche. Last night on Jay's live, he was talking about an avalanche. And so that was the avalanche that happens when you go live and you stack things. So we have got all these pretty sentiments that we can use. Now, while we've got this, plates here, let's go ahead and get our mixed media plate and all of our dies and start cutting out those. So I think it's going to be really interesting. Hi, Jana. Welcome. Glad you could join. I know you kind of a little under the weather, so I wasn't expecting you to be able to join because I knew you weren't feeling good, but I'm glad you're here. Glad you're well enough to join. Hopefully you'll get over that little headache you got going. So I'm going to take, and I thought I'd kind of focus the flowers in kind of the purple areas and try to get as many of those out of there as we can. I'm not going to use the holly leaves that are there. I thought I would skip those and just go with some of these other ones. And I want to try and maximize and get as much out of this as I can, because I'm going to do 2 cards, so I want lots of stuff. I want these, and I'm going to get these over here. We'll make some extra runs with it and everything, but it should be interesting. We'll see how it turns out. These are for these, I believe. So we'll put these on there. Yeah, I'm not going to use the holly leaves because I think, oh, I just dropped one. Luckily, I found it quickly. Sometimes when I drop stuff on the carpet in here, I cannot find it because Spellbinders dyes are the color of, similar to the color in my rug a little bit. And so it kind of all blends in and it makes for a terrible time trying to find a dye when you drop it. Yesterday, I was crawling all over the floor looking for a dye that I dropped. And I was about to give up and then immediately spied it. So I was like, yay. Hate to misplace any of my dyes. Just going to move this around a little bit, make sure we got it all on there. I really want to get into that purple. I suppose if I need to, I can spray some more purple on this and we can do some more. It'll just take a minute to dry, but trying to get it all on there. And I've put this in the other direction, and I am going to have to crank it around because I'm right-handed. So let's just look and see what we got and see if we can get some more. Hopefully it's going to come out. This is some thicker. This is my watercolor paper, so it is thicker. Oh man, come on. You got to pop out. I should have done 2 runs on it. All right, well, we're going to do it. That or use my, both of my, yeah, let's get those in there. Oh my goodness, you guys, I hate it when this happens. But you can recover, I think. We're about to find out. Which way did I have this one? I think like that. Oh my goodness. Here we go. This is crafting on the fly here. Just gonna get all these nuzzled back in, and you can feel them kind of get in there when they've been die cut out really well. This one's not. We'll do it separately. I'm not gonna worry about those little ones, but I want to get these big ones in here. Oh my goodness. The pitfalls of crafting live, and everybody gets to see your mistakes. But that's how it is. Nobody's perfect. I know when I first started making videos, I was scared to death. I would watch and rewatch. I just would do pre-recordeds because you can control that. You can edit out the garbage and make it look like you really know what you're doing. But with lives, you can't do that. And so you have to kind of get over that. And I have, for the most part, I think. But I just sometimes think people are showing up here and they don't want to see me. You know, they're not watching to see somebody that can't craft. So something's going on with this one. I don't know. It doesn't want to release. It's like it's stuck. We're going to get it out of there. There's like I don't know if I got like a bunch of mixed media in that spot, but it feels really chunky right there. So I think it just didn't want to release for that. So I think these are going to be interesting. And yeah, I didn't get that one lined up quite right. But I'm going to get as much as I can out of this because I think it could be really pretty. It's going to be interesting anyway. I think I put in the description box and make some pretty cards. I hope is what I put. You always hope that it'll turn out decent. You never know. So this morning got up, and it's a lovely morning. I got to tell you guys, it's just beautiful. But I got a text from my son-in-law, and he said, "Do you want to ride to school with us?" And so he swung by here and picked me up, and I rode to school with the boys. And they got their little haircut last night, and they just look so darling. I guess they get pictures taken this week. And so Mama cut their hair last night, and they look so cute. Oh, they're just so darling. Anyway, I miss those boogers, but they're doing pretty well. Now Westy, he did soccer practice last night. So he's in a little soccer thing. He's only 4 at the college, and so he's doing that. I think he was a little bit tired. They had kind of a busy day with church and everything, and then soccer practice. So anyway, it's amazing how young kids start things now. I'm going to get this out of here. Bear with me, folks. So 3 minutes before live, I thought, oh, I need to go get me some more coffee. And so I was out in the kitchen, and then I got in here and I'm like, oh, it's like 43 seconds to live. I probably should get going. So I'm just kind of dragging around this morning, I guess. Oh, I shouldn't say that because I did get up a little bit early and I started dragging my fall decorations out and put some of that. I know it's early, but I needed to change some things up, and we're going to be gone for a good part of the time. So I thought I might as well get them out and start enjoying them because we're going to go on a trip and be gone for a little bit. So anyway, all right, we are getting some of these things out that I didn't think were going to come out. So I'm hearing sirens outside. Okay, all right. So sorry, maybe I should have just die cut this out in advance, but I really wanted you guys to see that panel. Let's see. I want to catch up with the chat. So we've got everybody saying hi to everyone. Who else has come in? Looks like Rosie's here. Hi, Rosie. Welcome. And my scrapbook life loft is here. Welcome. Glad you guys could hop in. So I'm just taking this mixed media panel that I made for a live last night, and I am die cutting out some flowers and stuff for a couple of cards this morning, and hopefully they're going to turn out all right. We shall see. Let me get over here just so I can maximize what I'm able to die cut out here. See if we can get these. We shall see. All right, now for this, I think I'm going to make my life easier and bring in, this plate is very warped, but I'm going to bring this in, and that way it'll cut it really well. I think it will. Get this laid down on here. Hopefully. All right, see what we can get. We're going to run it through again. And if I can get them to stay where they're supposed to stay, I might use that tape. There we go. So they don't move on me. All right. We're going to get there. I'm going to show you something, I hope. Here we go again. All right. And we might bring in some lighter colored ones too. It might be nice to layer them up. Boy, these babies are, this is Canson watercolor paper. It's pretty thick, so it's really, wanting to hold on to those pieces. Okay, here we go. We could probably get a couple other things out of there, but I'm going to lay that aside, and I think I'm just going to grab another piece of that yellow, and I'm not certain that I have it. I think we'll go with that color. It's a little bit darker. But we can use that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring some more of these flowers and leaves in, and so we can do some layering, because I think it'll help with the mixed media to have some other colors. We shall see. All right, so what's everybody doing? Just hanging out and waiting for to accomplish something, huh? I want that one too. Just get them all on there if we can. Might as well. All right. So we'll have our die cutting mostly done, I think. We are going to emboss some panels, which I'll do that real quick while we got this thing here. We're just going to lay that aside. Let's get rid of this and this. We need our 3D. What I'm going to emboss are, let me lower my desk a little bit. Let's go down. Give you a little bit more view here. I'm going to use these two purple panels, and we're going to emboss them. I'm going to do one with the dimpled and one with the linen. And these are both 3D embossing panels, so we're going to use just the A plate and the D plate. And this one kind of has a good line on it, so you want to kind of get it straight. And we'll just go ahead and emboss these panels, and we get this machine out of the way, hopefully. Well, get in there. I have to do some cranking. It's a pretty good thick plate. And I am standing up, as you guys can tell from my, so that's really pretty. We're going to do that one. Lay that aside, and then we'll do our linen. And it also has kind of a line on it, so I want to kind of get it straight when you line it up. Alrighty. I don't know, those flowers are awfully dark. I was thinking the purple would look more purpley. They look pretty dark, so we'll see how this goes. Okay. Look at that. That's kind of bowed, really bowed. So, and then we have this one, which is gorgeous. Love it. Okay, let me get this junk out of the way. So what I had in mind for this is this particular panel here, I thought we could cut in half. I'm gonna have to do some blending around it to make it look kind of cohesive, but I was thinking of cutting it in half and using it for a layer on my card. And I was looking for my cutting tool. So this is actually, what size is this? It's 6.5. So I can go 3 1/4 and have 2 evenly sized panels. And so we've got that. Now what I used last night on this was, I'm grabbing my inks here, black soot, spiced marmalade, and antique linen. And so we're going to need that to blend that side. What I want to do is just blend the other side so that it looks like it kind of goes together. So we probably don't need the antique linen as much as we need the spiced marmalade and the black soot. It's going to go in the middle. So we'll do that. That's what I used on it last night when I was creating it. So we'll use our spiced marmalade, and we're going to just kind of stay on this side just to kind of darken that up a little bit. And then we'll do this one as well. Okay, and then we'll bring in our black soot and finish that off. And I think it'll look a little more cohesive that way. Kind of look more like a, you know, a panel instead of a half of a panel. So I'm gonna go a bit darker on there. Okay, so there's that. And I don't know, this might be kind of a moody birthday card. It's kind of dark. And did I do the marmalade on that? Yeah, okay. All right, so we've got our panels where we want them. We've got some bits and pieces. And let's see if we can come up with a plan for this. So we'll get this out of the way. You want to make cards. Daria is on vacation, and you didn't bring any things. You didn't bring any things with you to craft with. I thought maybe you'd bring something to play with. Now, I have been known, when I was on the craft roulette train, I felt like I had to do it every week. And so when I would go on vacation, I would pack a pack, something that I could take with me so that I could make the craft roulette card. And I would also rig up a way to make a video of that card while I was on vacation. And so I usually would pack something. Now, I don't know if I'll pack anything for this particular vacation. If I can get my channel loaded and everything, I won't take anything with me. But one time I used I had a tall tumbler glass, and I set my phone on it like that, and I just crafted this little space and was able to make a video. I'm gonna move this a little bit so the glare is coming out. And then another time, we in our condo, they had a real nice marble countertop, and then the shelves above, and I just opened the top cabinet, laid my phone in there, and crafted on the countertop, and it worked, and I was able to make a video. So you can do it, but she said I should have, but I was trying to reclaim my house as well as get the camper packed. Yeah. Yeah. Daria's kids were staying for a while, and they were getting out or moving out into their new place. And so that's what she's referring to. But yeah, anyway, it's fun to kind of take some stuff with you and play, but you know, it's also fun to take a little break from it. So we've decided this is 4.5 by 3.25. So 4.5 by 3.25. I'm going to need a layer for that. Was I going to, let me look, because I named several things I was going to use, different die sets and stuff. I'm going to pull them in and see how they would layer up with this. So get this stuff out of the way so I don't lose it. And let's get this one and just see what could work with that. Now, certainly that one could work with it. And then if we use that one, you know, we're not going to have a lot of room here. You know, we won't be showing a lot of that, but I think you'll still see our texture. So I think we might do that. I really like the scalloped frame. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to have to do some more die cutting. I'll tell you what, I'll just really quickly put it on my Empress and we'll crank it out. We're going to do 2 of them. And I think I did that. Did I want to do them that way? Let me think. Because yeah, let's do one in the yellow and one in the purple and go that way. Because I think I was trying to contrast it a little bit, but all right. So we'll do that and we'll just see how this all comes together. I have no idea. I'm flying by the seat of my pants here. So we've got that. And we're going to have this. All right, here is what we are going to do. I think we're going to pare this down a little bit with that. Let's bring this in with this. Okay, we're going to get there, I think. So I'm just going to die cut these out really quick. And we'll start on one and see where we go, and if we can get into the other one, we will. There's a couple of dies. I missed there. All right. So bear with me. We're going to get all of our layers. Okay. And we need a card base. Gosh, I don't even have any card bases ready, do I? Yeah. We'll bring in our score buddy. You guys are getting to see the whole kit and caboodle here. We even have to score up our card bases and everything. So Pat, I've been working out with Pat. Jana's been keeping me accountable. She says, "Hey, did you go to the gym?" But today, because I was going live, he went without me, so I'll have to catch up. I'll have to catch up on my working out, but I've been doing good. I've been trying to find out what my new norm is now that I don't have the grandkids. And so, hey, Denise, glad you made it. We'll watch the replay. You haven't missed much, but I've just been trying to die cut and and fumbling around. So anyway, so I'm trying to figure out what my new norm is, and we'll get there. I'll figure it out eventually. But one of the things was I thought, well, I'll start going to the gym with my husband. I used to do it all the time, and then I just got busy with the kids and stuff, and the times that he likes to go didn't work out with the schedule with the boys, because he likes to get it done first thing in the morning and get it out of the well after he has some coffee and does his readings and stuff. Then he likes to work out. So, and it is nice to get it out of the way right off the bat. So anyway, so we're going to lay this linen down on here, and then we're going to bring this in and lay it down. And I thought, with, not having any speckles on the yellow and that it would kind of lighten it up. So let's just get to assembling some of this and see what it looks like, and how it might work on our card. So I was thinking about, taking kind of one of the darker ones and pairing it with a lighter one to kind of make it a little brighter or something. I think that could be really pretty. I don't know whether to put the light on top and the dark on the bottom, or let's just play around here a little bit before we go glue things up. That's kind of pretty. And this one is certainly lighter here that we can add with it. What do you guys think? Should I go distress on distress, or should I go mix them up and do kind of a mixture of them, where you have it like that? And we could bring like a center back in. Got any centers here? Like that, where we've kind of got a mixture of both. I don't know. Just trying to decide. We've got some bigger centers too that we could, actually I think that goes with the other flower, but mix them up. Okay, mix it up. Okay, everybody's agreeing to just mix them up. All right, that's what we'll do. So we'll just layer them up and and see what happens. Trying to decide if I like the light on the top or the bottom. I think I like it on the bottom. Actually, I'm going to go with this one, I think. Sorry, I'm very indecisive this morning. Can't decide what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to put that one on there. I like that. I think I like the lighter, where the mixed media was lighter on there. I probably should have moved them around to where they were more on the lighter area, but I'm having a hard time getting them to offset, so that, there we go. So we'll do that. I don't know if I have enough flowers for 2 cards. Maybe only the one. We'll see. We could die cut some more out, but that one's kind of fun. Okay, what's the chat doing? You could ink the greenery too to add more texture and interest to the leaves. These, yeah, we could, couldn't we? We've got this with the black soot on there just to kind of add a little extra to it. I wonder if you could see this marmalade on there at all. Probably if I put a little bit more on it. Okay. Really need my little sticky mat. Keep everything from moving around. Okay, and we have these leaves here that look really, I think those look really pretty, and those are going to be very interesting. So, okay, let's go ahead and just add a little bit more to some more of these things. All right, so we've kind of got an idea of what we're doing here. I want to get some of these too. Here's a little center that could go. Actually need, I don't know that that's going to look, it's not going to pop off of there very well. Just trying to get an idea of all my bits and pieces. So for these, we'll bring these in and we'll put these with lighter stems. Darken that up a little bit. There we go. All right. And I think these are going to go like this. My tweezers. Gosh, you can't get a hold of it. Mercy sakes. Some days are better than others. Just have to go with the flow. All right, so let's get these pieces in here. Just need to be at the bottom of the flower. Hopefully I have enough of these. I got some smaller ones too that we can use. Man, I am Fumbleina. Okay. I really need to play with the mixed media more because it is fun and it gives you so much texture and it looks so different. Doria says it's because I'm missing her. Yeah, we tag team it when we're going live. One of us gets to be organized and knowing what they're doing, and the other one gets to be the one that fumbles around. And generally we kind of take turns because it has to do with preparedness. And I do honestly try to prepare and be prepared for these, but sometimes you're more prepared than others. Gina K did say on her live the other day that she was somewhere where they were complaining about YouTubers that aren't prepared for their lives. And she's like, oh no, I'm one of them, because she was having a rough, they prompted her to do something that she had not planned for. And she didn't know what the proper settings were for her, for this technique that she had not done. She did not know what the proper settings were for her machine, that machine that she presses with, her machine that she has. I can't think of what it's called. Impress. No, what's it called? I don't know. Anyway, and so she was fumbling around. She said, "Oh no, I'm looking unprepared, like those people were complaining about." So I don't know who the people were, and I don't know that it really matters. But I guess really, if you don't go live and you don't do videos, you really can't. I mean, you can, but you don't understand what it takes and how things kind of occur. That looks really pretty when you kind of push it up. I pulled out some embellishments that I had that were in purple that I thought, well, I could probably use these on it. And so I just pulled some of those out, and that's what I'm doing, bringing some of those in, trying to give these flowers some dimension and make them look interesting. I think they're coming together. I think I was kind of on the struggle bus there for a minute trying to figure out what I was going to do, but I think it's going to come together. I think we'll be able to create something here that's going to look decent. So if you guys will just hang with me, I'm getting there. Slowly but surely. Okay, there's that. Now I want to do another one of these and use some of these bits. Do I have very many of those? I thought I die cut enough out because we did multiple passes with it, but there we go. Okay, I think we can do it. All right, so we'll get some bigger ones and some littler ones stuck on here. I'm gonna put this big one right here at the top. And then we'll get this one. Usually after my live, and there is a gal named Gretchen who reads books. I don't know if you guys have seen her. I need to link that up so you guys can check it out. But she had some really, and they're children's books. And I know that sounds, kind of strange, but she had two really great books last night that I was able to catch and read. I wish I could think of what it is right at the moment, but it's something with Gretchen. And she does art, and people send in their artwork, and she highlights those and does that. But she reads these children's books, and it's just really relaxing and peaceful. And sometimes if I don't lose my mind, I remember that right after I get done going live, she is live and does this, reads these books. So it's really pretty interesting, and I enjoy it. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna clean up this little mess here and try to come up with a plan of what we're gonna do. Get my fingers clean. Forever cleaning. Okay, so I've got these tags too that I think would be fun to kind of incorporate into this. So we've got some labels too that if we could get, like one of our sentiments to fit on it, we could, put a label on our sentiment on a label or something like that. So I've got all that. I've already die cut it out. We've got these pieces, and I thought we could add some of that. We're going to do some clustering and that type of thing. So we're going to start out with this one. We've got it laid on our card base. Got a little bit of white there. I'll leave it be. And then we have our panels, which I think are really pretty. I think it's going to come together. Let's go ahead and bring in some foam tape. Hopefully my desk is not so dirty that I'm going to get my panels dirty. So let's bring in some foam tape. We're going to pop it up so we'll have some dimension. Images by Gretchen. Thank you, Jana. I couldn't think of what it was. Thank you. I'm going to pop that up there. So do you catch her too? It's it's really, she's interesting, and she has a nice, pleasant reading voice. And I actually found her through Atlay Chat. It looks like Atlay Chat Bot. I don't know how to say it, but anyway, that's what it looks like. ALECHATBOTT. She is somebody that follows Lala, and I found her on that, and then from there found Gretchen, and so that's just something to do on Sunday. It's actually really nice for Sunday evening, like a wind down, and right before bed or whatever. It's pretty relaxing. So, hi, Christine, your first live, working and watching. Hello from Roanoke. Welcome, welcome. Glad you could join. And if you're not subscribed, I'd love for you to subscribe. I am at I don't know, 2493. So if I can get 7 more people, I can hit my 2,500 goal. So that would be lovely. And if you are subscribed, thank you for subscribing. It's hard to, it's hard to keep track of everyone who has subscribed. So I apologize if you are, and I am not recognizing that, but welcome. So we're going to get this panel laid down, and then we can start clustering our stuff up, which I think is going to be really pretty. I just have to get a plan. So we have, I want to say, we have a couple of flowers, and I think we might be able to get 2 cards out of here, even though I've just got because I have the 2 smaller flower, the extra ones, so we could kind of pair them up to where we can get 2 cards out of it, I think, because we've got enough greenery and different stuff like that. So I've got my tag, and I think we should have some twine or something. Let me grab some twine. And I'm just going to go with some jute twine. We'll just go with it, and we'll have some kind of a bow or ribbon or something on here. I don't know. We're just winging it, which is typically how I craft. So hopefully you're okay with that. I'm just going to tie a little bow on here, I think. I just really plan like the stuff I'm going to work with, and then as far as the design, because I didn't make it in advance. This one is not going to work on that because we've got the same color, so we're going to go with this one, and we'll change the other one up a little bit, I think. Everybody welcoming Christina. Is it Pot Guider? Christina Pot Guider Shanna also goes live on Sunday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Oh, so we both are at the same time. So we would miss each other. Well, while I'm on vacation, I might be able to catch you because I won't be going live on Sunday nights while on vacation. So I think I'll miss 2 Sunday nights, and perhaps 1 Monday is what I'll miss on my lives. So, well, I'm glad you could join us, and I'll have to check out your channel. So thanks, Jim, for the heads up. Okay, so we've got that. I don't know. I was watching, when I got ready to go to bed last night, I was watching, I always forget her name. She's the scrapbook.com gal that does all this clustering. I'm sure you guys know who she is. Right at the moment, it escapes me. But she does a lot of layering and clustering and stuff like that. And I was watching that last night. And I'd already decided in my mind that I was going to use these panels for today to create some kind of a card, because I took the time to make them, and I thought, oh, I should use them. And so I had them laying on my desk, and I had these dies, and it was, all of these things included on there. And I thought, then I caught a couple of her videos, and I thought, I'll watch these in preparation for you know, what I'm going to do tomorrow, and it will kind of help me. So, you know, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. There are lots of people out there working with this stuff that you can check out and see what they're doing and come up with some ideas to create with. So anyway, that's my story. So we have happy birthday, happy belated birthday. We have a lot of different things that we could do with this. I just need to get my cluster figured out. So I think the tag is going to go there. And I'm just going to start kind of building my flowers, my cluster on my flowers, and figure out what I'm going to do. So this one, I think these two need to go on this one together. Do I have a little? Oh, we could just build it on our tag, actually. Let's just go ahead and do that. A lot of times I might bring in a little circle or something to build it on, but we'll just go ahead and try to build it on our tag and get it how we want it. So we'll just bring in some of the leafy elements and lay them down on there. Oh, goodness. And when Daria is with me on Monday mornings, she can fill in the gaps when I'm not rattling on. She can say something and help fill in the gaps, when, you know, the pauses, like the dead space that Gina K talks about. That's why she has her husband there. He's there to fill in the dead space. So it does help when you've got somebody there to kind of fill in the chitty chat, so it's not quite so boring. I always am surprised that, you know, I'm able to keep people watching me because I think I'm relatively boring. But anyway, I sure appreciate you guys spending your time with me. All right, now I'm just, you know, bunching all this stuff up and trying to make it work on here. And I'm wondering, am I going to be able to get 2 flowers on this? I want to. I'd like to use the 2 flowers on one, and then, but it just might be too much. Let's see how that looks. I think that looks really pretty. But we need our panel. We've got to get our panel on here. There we go. Yeah, I think that looks good. I think it's coming together. All right, let's go ahead and get this laid down on here. Ink the edge of the tags to make them stand out more. Great idea. And of course, I laid the flowers down on there. So I need to look up and check out the chat periodically. Thank you, Linda. Linda said it looks great. I appreciate that. So. And you know, the gal that I was watching, she always inks up these just like that, Jim. So great call. I think that looks pretty. I do want those to stand up a little bit. So see, this set is Christmas foliage, but I don't think it necessarily looks like that. I think that honestly, it could be, you can use it for anything that you want. So that says Age to Perfection. That's cute. I'm just looking at some ones that might fit on some of these because I think these are pretty. And you can, you know, bring those in and add those because I do want to use this documenting labels set. I don't know that I used it. So let's see how our happy birthday looks on there. Yeah, we can make that fit on there. I think that'd be pretty. All right, let's go ahead and lay it down. Do I want to tuck anything else in there? I've got that one that we could bring in or kind of layer it around it. I'm going to cut it down and I'm going to tuck it in on this side and just bring in a little bit of that. just to make it a little bit fuller and a little bit more interesting. So there, I think that's really pretty. All right, let's go ahead and lay it down. How are we doing? Haven't gotten very far. I guess we had a lot of techniques with the butter press and then all of the die cutting and everything. So it has taken me a minute, but I think that's really pretty. I'm wondering if I should go ahead and do this as well, just to kind of keep in the same theme that we got going on here with our stuff. I think it's going to be lovely. I think it's going to be lovely. And I think we can probably make a second card. I think I can pick up the paste here and we can make a second card. I think that's really pretty. I kind of like it hanging off a little bit too. I went to go live. I was getting ready to go live, and I realized I only had one earring in, and I had the other one was I must have lost it. So I don't know how long I've been running around with one earring. Hopefully not at church yesterday, especially because I'm on the stage. But anyway, so I think that came together pretty. It's kind of a moody card, don't you think? Just a little moody looking. I think it looks nice. All right, so we've got the elements to make another card. So let's just do it. If you guys have the time and you don't mind hanging out, let's do it. So for this one, this is the dimpled one, and I like it too. It's just lots and lots of texture. Anytime you can add an embossing folder to a card, you're going to get the wow factor. I know I say that on my videos all the time, but the embossing folder it steps it up a notch. And honestly, they're not that expensive. I think they're around, I want to say $9 or something. I think the club, I don't know, I feel like it's $9, but I think, for $9, you can really ramp up your cards. Love them. So there we go. Anyway, so we have this one, and we need to decide what we want to do. What do I got here? Can I go with that? I was just thinking maybe I could use that and layer it up. But, can't do that. All right, let's bring in your plates. I didn't do a very good job of laying that down. Hopefully I can move it. I don't know. Oh, I think it'll be all right. We'll just trim it. That's what I do. I'm not going to stress over it. We'll just trim it. Now this one, we did 3 layers on that one. I'm going to bring this in, and I think, actually, do I have a light purple? I don't know that I have any light purple left over. I have some dark. Where did I put my paper at? We could repeat that, but I'm trying to do something a little bit different with it. Let's see. I think some black would look good on there. I wonder if I have a black panel handy. Let's see what we've got. Oh, the only black panels that I have in here have been embossed with some weird stuff like that. I've got that. I don't think we want that. We could just bring in another lighter. Let's do that for the essence of time. And we will just, we're going to die cut these out like we did the other ones. And just have a little different look. So I think I'm going to use this for this. We're not going to use the scallop one because I want to make it a little bit different. And we will bring in, let's see, do we want to use this one? Yeah, let's do that. Wait, actually, we'll make it even a little bit smaller is what we'll do, I think. So we'll go ahead and die cut those out, and we'll have those panels. And then we'll see what we can come up with. Oops. Gotta get my sandwich right so it'll go through there. Let's see what Jim's saying. Jim, can you tear the edges of the mat you're working on to make it more distressed? That is a good idea too. For sure. And I just die cut them out. So let me see. So I've got this and this. I think that's really pretty. And we definitely could, right, here's what we're going to do. Is this the one I used? Yes. We're going to die cut this out, change the plans. I was actually thinking about, let's just do that. Okay. I've got all kinds of ideas swirling through my head and just not sure which one to land on. So it's a crazy place up there. Okay, here's what we're going to do to incorporate Jim's idea. Did I do that right? I didn't. Shoot, I wanted the other one. What we will do. Okay, I guess we're going to shift because I grabbed the wrong die. So what we're going to do is we will tear these edges and make them look interesting. And then we'll have kind of a rough look to it. And we've got a frame going on. Get that out of the way. Very creative. You need the Tim Holtz decal trimmer. Yes, that would be nice. You like the bottom too. Christine saying mixture. So, yeah, I don't have the decal trimmer. Yeah, I do like a lot of Tim. I don't have a lot of Tim Holtz stuff that I love. I love watching his lives, and it is so fun to play with. I just don't have as much of it. I've got a lot of spritzes and sprays, and I've got the paste and stuff like that. But I have a tendency to be a little bit more of the kind of the clean and simple look. And I'm big into the dyes and everything. So that'll kind of make it look kind of interesting, I think. Gives a little bit of a different look. Like, let us let's take these scissors and kind of rough up this edge and make it look a little bit, it looks just a little too clean to lay on that other edge. So we'll just rough these up. These are the Tim Holtz scissors, and they're like, I don't know, they've got like, I forget what it's called, but there's little serrated, I guess is what it is on there. So it'll rough these up pretty well, I think. Give us a little jagged edge. A little bit more messed up. Tracy Pate, that's the gal that does all the clustering. She's a scrapbook.com gal. And that was the one I was watching last night. And what's funny is she actually does take her scissors all the time or something and roughs it up like that. So we'll get that laid down on there. You were late coming in the rewind the video. Yeah, I thought that might be the case when you said mix it up, because I was trying to decide whether to mix up the die cut pieces, the plain ones with the mixed media ones, and I think the consensus was to mix it up, and that's what we did. So I'm just kind of getting this laid on here. I'm going to bring in some foam tape and pop it up if I can find my foam tape. Here it is. And it'll just hold the layers together. And my husband's coming in. I told him that we would go to brunch when he gets in. So, but we're getting close. We're going to wrap this up pretty quick. The second card always goes faster than the first one. The first one, it takes me forever to get going. I don't know if it's just can't get my mojo going or what, but then usually by the second one, we can start to rock and roll a little bit more. So anyway. So I've got some fun projects coming up this week on my channel, things I've been working with. And so hopefully you'll check them out. I know some people like live, some people like pre-recorded, some people, do both or whatever, but you might check them out. I've got a little bit. I might have to cover that up a little bit. So that's kind of fun. See, I've got the edge off there a little bit, but it's not perfect. It's handmade. All right. So we'll get this laid down on there. Let's see. Anything else going on in the chat? I've got my coffee here and it's getting cold. I bet I heat my coffee up. I don't know how many times during the day. Walk off and leave it. Come back to it. It's cold. Heat it up. Walk off and leave it. Heat it up again. And I think what we'll do with this is, since I've kind of got a little boo-boo there, we might kind of cluster on the corner there and then maybe bring this in and do something down here and it will look a little different. I think that's what we'll do. It'll cover up what I'm referring to is I didn't get this purple even on there. And so you can see where my die cutting machine pressed that. And so we're gonna hide that and we'll just build our cluster in that area there. So that's what we're going to do. I'm just gonna put a puddle of glue here and we're just gonna start laying stuff down and see what we come up with. And it'll be fine. Those are cute. I didn't use that. Did I use that on the other one? Yeah, I did. Okay. Trying to get them to stick. That's why I kind of like to use a little circle or something and just start my clustering on a circle, because then I can cluster it all and then pick it up and set it on there. Okay. So we will tuck some bits and pieces in here. That'll be pretty. Get it laid down in there. Tuck it in. Oh, that looks nice. Now we just need to add some more leaves, and we have plenty, so we'll just tuck some more in. I don't know why I get quiet when I'm tucking. I've got to whisper as I tuck. Oh, okay, we've got some more flowers here too. So we're getting kind of a pretty good little swag going on here. We got some swag. Get it tucked in. That's so pretty. I think it's coming together. You like it in the corner, Daria? Thank you. I think it's looking pretty good. I guess we could go cuckoo and just add a bunch, but I don't know if we need to or not. Yeah, I don't think we need that. cut it down and put a little bit there and stick it in there. Clean up the glue a little bit. It's coming together. Now, do we have room for the tag on there? Maybe not. This might be a little bit different. That's okay. We don't have to have the tag. We could put the tag on the inside if we wanted to. Okay, so we have happiest birthday wishes. That's pretty. I think we need to see if we can put it on something just to give it a little bit of contrast. We've got It's Your Special Day. We could use it. Let's see what I've got. Just looking at the different ones that I have. This one says Age to Perfection, which I think that's kind of fun too. Could do it like that. Age to Perfection. I think I like that. I just want to offset it a little bit with the extra layer of color. So let's do that. Okay, this is beautiful. I need to make a card with flowers in a corner. Great inspiration while doing your bank reconciliation and invoicing. Well, good. I'm glad I could inspire you. Yeah, I do like to do corners and kind of cluster them. This one I kind of did both corners, this particular card here. And it turned out really pretty. So I think I'm getting better at my clustering, and I think Daria would agree. She tells me that she thinks I'm getting better. I'm coming into it, so that's good. There's always room for improvement. I used to work with a guy that said we have the right to improve. We retain the right to improve, and I think we all need to do that pretty regularly. Let's just try to improve ourselves in one way or another. So I think that looks pretty. I'm going to get that laid down on there. I don't know if I need to tuck it. I'm thinking about adding a leaf to it, but I don't think I need to do that. I think we just need to lay this down here. Let's lay it down like this. And I think it looks really pretty. Now, do I have any more of those embellishments that I might want to add to it? Okay, we're going to get these sentiments put away because we can use these. We can actually use these leaves too, but I don't know. Get out of the way. Look how gluey my glass mat is. I'll definitely have to do some cleanup after this. But here's our two cards. And I've got the embellishments that we used. I put two different colors on that one. And then I've got a smaller one on that one. Got some die cutting pieces, like little hairs from the die cuts on there. And because I have these, I'm going to use them. I'm going to stick them to my fingers is what I'm going to do. And I love the little tiny ones. These tiny ones, I think they're so cute. Just fill that in. That looks nice. And I don't think I want to add any more to that one. I think I'm going to leave it as is. And we're going to call it done. So this was our second one. And then this was our first one. We had some, I wish I'd ran some twine or something on it. I think I was originally thinking I was going to put this tag on there, which I think we might have been able to do that, but it'd been fun to have some more texture with some twine on this one as well. If I'd have kind of ran it around the panel and tied it and then laid my sentiment on it, I think that could have looked nice. But I think these are real pretty, and I've got 2 birthday cards for my stash that I can pull out and use, which is always handy. So, and I used those mixed media panels that I made last night and didn't use. So I got 2 panels off of my desk, and I've got 2 cards, and I think they're really pretty. And I used this Christmas die set, and I don't think they look Christmassy. What do you think? Jim is asking everybody to give a thumbs up. He always takes care of that business for me. So thank you, Jim. I appreciate that. And Gloria cards are very pretty. Thank you, Gloria. Glad you like them. Um, anyway, so I hope you guys have a great week, and I hope to catch you Sunday in my Sunday Night Live. And I'll have some pre-recorded videos this week that you can check out. And if you know anybody that needs to follow me, ask them to subscribe so that I can hit that 2,500 goal hopefully this week. So I appreciate you guys, and look forward to chatting with you later on. So take care and enjoy your week. Bye bye.